The top quarterback vanished before draft night. And when he came back, he brought something that could burn the NFL to the ground. Before we dive in, subscribe now for more untold stories they don't want you to hear. This one starts with a quarterback who vanished before draft night. The night before the NFL draft, the city of New York hummed with electric anticipation. Helicopters buzzed overhead, flashing lights danced off the skyscrapers, and every massive LED screen in Times Square glowed with one face: Zion Creed. 21 years old, charismatic, and built like a machine. A quarterback destined to go #1 overall. Except, Zion wasn't so sure. In a sleek penthouse suite at the Essex Hotel, Zion Creed stood by the window. Behind him, his agent and publicist bickered, scrambling over final endorsements and media appearances. Zion barely noticed. His eyes were on the city, but his mind was somewhere else. "I'm not going #1, he said, calm but certain. His agent scoffed. "What are you talking about? The LA Kings cleared half their roster for you. They're sending the jet in the morning." Zion turned serious. "Then why did the owner cancel dinner tonight?" A silence followed. Then, Zion's phone buzzed. One text. Unknown number. Just a single word. "Run." The next morning, chaos erupted across the sports world. Zion Creed vanished. Reporters flooded the draft venue. Rumors exploded across Twitter. No one could reach him. Not the league, not his agent, not even his family. At the center of the storm was Riley Knox, a former ESPN investigative reporter turned independent podcaster, blacklisted after exposing a scandal the network didn't want aired. Riley was live. This is Riley Knox, live from Radio City Music Hall. Zion Creed is missing, and tonight's #1 pick may be the most controversial in NFL history. Riley was about to end her stream when her burner phone buzzed. Encrypted email. No sender. Subject line, Maverick. One sentence. Creed was never supposed to go #1. Follow the data. Attached, GPS coordinates. Jersey City. She followed them. In a warehouse tucked behind a row of auto shops, Riley found racks of dusty servers still humming. Files labeled, player DNA, risk algorithms, neural draft metrics. She copied everything. But in doing so, she triggered a silent alarm. As she fled into the night, she caught a glimpse of a corkboard. Zion's photo circled in red. Below it, a manila folder stamped, Volatility, Terminate. Meanwhile, NYPD, Detective Javier Rowan had been assigned Zion's missing person case. Rowan wasn't your average cop. He'd been a college linebacker before a torn ACL ended his career. He smelled corruption like a bloodhound. When Zion's mother tearfully filed the report, Rowan knew something didn't add up. It didn't take long for Rowan to cross paths with Riley. And although they didn't trust each other, they had one thing in common. They both knew Zion didn't vanish by accident. Riley showed him what she'd downloaded. A secret program built by a defense contractor turned tech firm, Athlon Core. Their AI, named Helix, was designed to predict every NFL prospect's long-term value using medical data, psychological profiles, social media behavior, even biometric scans. But there was more. Riley said to Rowan, "They're not just predicting performance, they're determining who gets drafted and who gets erased." "You're saying the draft is rigged? By an algorithm?" Rowan asked. Riley, "No, it's worse. The algorithm is being used by the people who stand to make billions in bets." They found a whistleblower, a nervous former programmer who helped build Helix. He confirmed it. Helix's projections were sold not only to NFL front offices, but also to an illegal network of international betting syndicates. Programmer with a shaky voice reveals, Zion Creed refused to throw a game his sophomore year. The AI flagged him as non-compliant. After that, he was marked. They couldn't risk him going #1. It would crash their projections. Before he could say more, a shot rang out. A sniper. The programmer dropped. Riley and Rowan fled as bullets tore through the windows. Rowan traced Zion's last known location to a luxury safe house, owned by none other than Victor Harlan, the billionaire owner of the LA Kings. There, in a hidden basement, they found Zion. Alive, weak, sedated. Zion told them faintly, "I had to disappear. They gave me two options, be drafted into silence, or die." He handed Riley a flash drive before collapsing. The drive contained damning evidence, recordings of team owners discussing how Helix was being used to rig the draft, silence outspoken athletes, and funnel information to gambling cartels. Draft night arrived. Millions watched. The LA Kings were on the clock. But before the commissioner could speak, every screen in the arena glitched. Then, Riley's face appeared. She was broadcasting live. "What you're about to hear will change the game forever." She played the tapes. Zion's voice? Executives laughing about manipulating player injuries. AI predictions showing how athletes could be programmed or removed from the spotlight. Screens across Times Square exploded with data. Hashtags trended instantly. Hashtag DraftGate, hashtag free, Zion, hashtag Helix hack. Riots broke out. The commissioner was booed off stage. The Kings' selection, a last-minute backup pick, was met with outrage. The revelations of draft night sent shockwaves through every corner of the sports world. But the real war was just beginning. Congress opened hearings. Sponsors pulled funding. Athlon Core went dark overnight. And yet, the Helix system, somehow, still lived. Underground, hidden. Zion Creed knew that escaping the draft wasn't enough. If Helix wasn't destroyed, the cycle would repeat. And the next player wouldn't be so lucky. In a nondescript office building in Geneva, Switzerland, a closed-door meeting was underway. At the table sat executives from elite European sports syndicates, crypto magnates, and one familiar face. Serena Vale, Athlon's elusive CTO, thought to have fled the country. Serena was cold and confident. Helix was never just about football. It's the prototype for predictive control in every major sport. If the NFL collapses, we pivot. Global soccer, Formula One, the Olympics. A man across the table frowned. He was Russian, mid-40s, the face behind a massive offshore betting conglomerate. Russian exec. And Zion Creed? The world sees him as a hero. Serena. Then we make him the villain. Back in the States, Riley Knox was being hunted. After her explosive leak, the FBI offered protection, but she refused. She'd gone rogue before. She knew the drill. What she didn't know was that the next target wasn't her. It was Rowan. Detective Javier Rowan, now head of integrity for the UFA, had begun investigating mysterious injuries inside the new league. Athletes collapsing mid-game. Brain scans erased. Players vanishing without warning. Rowan, on call with Riley. Something's not right. It's like Helix is still running, but from the shadows. Riley, what do you mean? Rowan, I mean, someone's building version 2. Static crackles. The call drops. Zion, now playing for the New York Vultures, felt it too. He wasn't just facing defensive lines. He was being watched, tracked. His smart cleats sent data to league partners. His helmet had a performance module. One night, while icing a shoulder injury, he removed the module. Inside was a hidden transmitter. Zion whispering, "They're still inside the system." He knew who to call. Riley and Zion met at an abandoned subway terminal beneath Manhattan. The location? An old data relay hub once used by Helix contractors. Still active. There, they found something chilling. A new project, Helix SABLE, designed to scan not only performance, but compliance. Voice tone? Facial tics. Microaggressions. SABLE could determine, within seconds, if an athlete would obey or rebel. Zion, reading, non-compliant assets subject to neutralization. They're not tracking athletes. They're sorting them. They were ambushed. Masked operatives in tactical gear descended into the tunnel. Riley and Zion fled, sprinting through flooded corridors. Behind them, gunfire. One bullet grazed Zion's leg. He stumbled. A figure appeared from the shadows. Roan, pulling them into cover. Took you long enough. Roan had followed a bank of offshore shell accounts from Athlon straight into Europe, and now he was here, underground, trying to dismantle the Hydra. Together, the trio formed a plan to take Sable offline. The data center was in Luxembourg. Guarded, armed, but they had one advantage. The Helix algorithm had never accounted for human unpredictability. They broke in during the Europa Cup finals, a distraction that pulled all eyes to the sports world above. Zion posed as an injured player. Riley hacked the security grid. Roan took out the guards, silent and swift. Inside the mainframe room, Riley plugged in the same flash drive Zion had given her a year ago. Riley whispering, "Let's shut you down, Helix." Alarm blares. Red lights strobe. Helix Sable fought back. Autonomous firewalls, fake file wipes, malware feedback loops. Zion saw the screens flash one final message. Athlete. Zion Creed. Status. Threat. Execute. Protocol echo. Doors locked. Gas hissed into the chamber. Roan smashed the emergency seals. Riley held her breath as she hit run on the purge script. Screen flashes. System override. Shutdown complete. The fallout was global. Sable was destroyed. Athlon Core's network was exposed. Serena Vale? Captured at the Swiss border with a suitcase full of burner drives. The betting syndicates? Collapsed overnight. Zion Creed retired the next morning. Zion, press conference. "I didn't play to win games. I played to remind you that we are not numbers. We are not assets. We are not code." He walked away from the league, but not the fight. With Riley and Roan, he launched Athlete First, a watchdog group that audits AI use in global sports. Years later, in a university lecture on sports ethics, a professor asked his class, "What ended the age of predictive sports?" A student raised her hand. He says, "One athlete who chose not to play." The system had a playbook for everything, except rebellion. If this story gripped you, hit that subscribe button, because the game behind the game is just beginning. Tap the bell so you never miss the next drop. Like if you believe the truth should always come to light. And share this with someone who still thinks the draft is just about football.